Greetings one and all, Lights and Gear is here, and the flashlight I have today is from Sofirn. I've had a couple of recent Sofirn lights of late, and they've been pumping them out, so let's talk about them as need be. So today is a Sofirn light. It's called the SP10. The SP10 version 3, actually, and they actually had an SP10 several years ago, and I think you will find that among my reviews at Lights and Gear. But this one is a long-awaited update to that original light. It basically uses a AA battery, but in this case, the AA battery can also be in the form of a lithium rechargeable 14500, which is a wonderful move by Sofirn in order to appeal to flashlight aficionados and perhaps those who aren't so familiar with LED flashlights but would like to learn more about them, and or may just be more of a standard AA type battery person. But anyway, you will get a little bit of information here about Sofirn on the back of the box. They're all pretty generic, so they don't really say anything about the light itself. But that will come clearer when you open the box. Here's the manual, SP10 version 3. And there's a lot there to look at, which I can breeze over here in a little bit. You have the usual accessories. Here's a lanyard and a couple of spare O-rings. Over here we have a USB charging cable. It is a, well, more or less what you would call a standard, not a C, charging cable. The flashlight itself is not USB rechargeable. That is why they've included this little mini generic charger, which is USB rechargeable. So there's the port on the end. You can, of course, use this or any charger of your choice to charge the battery, which they furnish with the light. When you do plug this in, there's a little LED right here, which will turn red if the battery needs charging, and will turn green when the charge is finished. The battery, I was going to show you this later, but the battery in here tends to be a little finicky, and you sometimes have to jiggle it around a bit because you might put it in while it needs charging, but it might immediately show green, saying that it doesn't need charging. But if you wiggle it, the green will turn to red, and you know, back and forth. As long as you keep it in the position that it likes, so it has the red in there, then you're good to go naturally. But anyway, that is one way of charging the battery. And here's the light. It just turned on by me pressing the button there. So the battery is already in the light. It is it is obviously a Sofirn battery, 900 mAh, 14500, lithium rechargeable. So as I say, it was a very nice gesture of them to make this flashlight usable with a 14500, because the top lumen output is basically at 1000 lumens, and you couldn't do that with a regular AA or an NIMH rechargeable, which you can use in the light. So anyway, you have some nice threading here on the bottom. The pocket clip is already attached. The knurling here is, you know, it's okay. Relatively aggressive, so I guess with wet hands you won't lose your grip on the light. And there's the battery again. Inside the light there's just inside the tube there's just a post up there at the top. Of course the of course the spring is in the tail cap right here. Here's your main switch, which of course does all operations of the light. Here's your LED, which is actually a Samsung LED, and it has an orange peel reflector here, so the beam is nicely dispersed. Kind of hard to see down in there. And as I say, the switch here does everything. Just press it and it's on, press it and it's off. So let's take a look at the modes here, and this is what you get. And it also describes your output using standard batteries as opposed to the 14500. But with that, you get a moonlight mode, low, medium, high, and turbo. And it also has 3 emergency modes. You have strobe, SOS, and beacon. And very simple to operate, as I was saying a second ago. Just turn it on, turn it off, and of course once it's on you can press and hold, and that will increase the mode to the next level. As with a lot of lights, moonlight and turbo are hidden, and moonlight is a holding press from off, so there's your moonlight, and turbo is a double press from wherever you happen to be. I believe the flashing modes, that's a 3-presser. So press 3 times for the flashing modes, whether it's on or off, and then a holding press once it's on will switch to the next emergency mode in line. It started with strobe, now it's in SOS, and if I press and hold again, it'll switch to beacon, which is just the single flash there. And then a single press will go back to where it was initially. It has mode memory, of course, so it'll go back to the initial modes that you were in before you activated the flashing modes. But basically, as far as your outputs are concerned, with a 14500 battery, that should be 110, 100, 350, and 1000. And then if you use a AA or an NIMH battery in it, it'll be a little bit less, 110 and 50 for medium, and 120 for high, and 300 for turbo. And your run times are not too bad with all types of batteries. And it is, of course, aerospace aluminum as far as the body is concerned, and type 3 hard anodizing and so forth. It does mention the emitter down here, which is the Samsung. That's the LH35 LED, and it does talk about the different battery options. There is a lockout mode as well, so if you don't want it to turn on accidentally in your pocket, you can activate that, and you have to be off to do it. And that is, I think it's 4 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 clicks from the off position. It'll flash, and then all it will do when you press the button is flash twice every time. But it's basically locked out and won't do anything but flash twice and turn off. 1, 2, 3, 4 to put it back into activation. Let me turn out a light here, and we can check out the beam properly. Here I'll put it into moonlight, and there it is, moonlight, where of course you can look at anything up close and not blind yourself. So press the button, it'll turn off, but then, so let's do the modes here. We have low. This is low right now, and then you have medium, and then you have high, and of course you have turbo. So turbo is mighty bright for a small light of this size with a typical size battery, although this is the lithium ion, so naturally you will get a much brighter beam. So that is turbo, and then of course pressing it once it'll go back down to high, where I was before I activated turbo. So as you can see, it's a pretty nice beam. The color is pretty nice on it. It's just a standard kind of a tint, and but it's quite smooth and has nice spill and so forth on the actual beam pattern. Let me show you the outdoor pics here. We'll take it outside and flash it around there a little bit. So let me show you those pictures I took outside with it here. Okay, hope that was informative. You will, of course, find a link below to purchase this light on Amazon. And if you check out my written review at lightsandgear.com, you will, of course, see a link on there as well to pick one up and make it your own or give it as a gift, as at the time of this recording we are coming up to the giving season, as it were, holidays and so forth. Now the light, as you can see, is pretty small, only about a little over 3 inches long. Just to quickly show you here, you can use the Eneloop batteries like this, which are NIMH rechargeable. You can use one of those, and you can use any standard AA battery. And of course, take into account the outputs, which we talked about, which are of course a lot lower with those standard type batteries. But including the 14500, as I said before, is a really nice touch. And any standard charger will charge that battery as well as the unit that they furnish. And you can check out a little picture of this on my website as well. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today's Sofirn's SP10 version 3. And check out the links, leave any questions or comments you like, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and we will see you again next time for more at lightsandgear.com. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.